when equity market is trending, or when the equity market picks up strength, we see a euphoria of IPOs, initial public offers. And any one of you who are not aware what exactly is an IPO, IPO stands for initial public offer, where a company wanted to raise funds. A company aspires to raise funds from the public. It gets listed on NSE, it gets listed on BSE, it comes out with a price band to acquire the demand with the brand name. Certain IPOs quote at a very, very high valuation also, right? So in today's session, we will study how we can analyze an IPO, how we can do a detailed deep dive about IPO investing and trading. Now, when you're applying for an IPO, it should be in lots, right? Like one lot, two lot, multiples of lots. And every lot is equivalent to around 15,000 rupees. So to study about the IPO, what we will do is we'll go to a platform called as SEBI website, right? So I'll just share the link in the chat box. Yeah, I'll just share the link in the chat box. So this website, SEBI, we'll go to filings, and under filing, public issues. So draft offer documents filed with SEBI. So any company which wanted to raise funds, they go and submit the documents. SEBI need to vet and SEBI need to approve for the company to raise funds. Even National Stock Exchange, NSE, for the last couple of years, they're submitting the documents to SEBI. SEBI is reverting back with certain queries, and the IPO was not being launched yet because there is a tussle happening between SEBI and NSE. So any company where they want to raise funds, SEBI's approval is mandatory. I'll just take an example like LG Electronics, right? LG Electronics. So if you see here, I'll just go to LG Electronics India, and what I will do, this document, which is almost like 456 pages document, right? So you type in the chat box, is it possible to read this entire document, understand about LG Electronics, and then invest? How many of you are comfortable with it? Type it as yes in the chat box. If you are like, sir, 456 documents is huge. 456 pages document. Yes. So first thing is definitely yes, this draft red herring prospectus or draft offer document is a complete Bible, or is a complete document which will give you everything in and out about the company. So I'll just go down. So look at it here. See here, sir, I wanted to know the entire information about the company, right? What is the objects of the offer? What exactly does LG Electronics do? What is the background of the company, right? All these are available here, right? So about the management, promoter, the financial information, legal related offer documents. So everything, even its competitors, how is the operations of the company, right? Group companies, any group companies, everything is listed here. So you get in and out. But yes, as it's a very huge document, we will take use of AI, artificial intelligence. So what you can do, there is a download button here. You can download it, and I'll just download it to the document segment here. And now what I will do, we will use AI, right? We will use AI, which is artificial intelligence, and it's fine. You can use any platform, either ChatGPT. Sir, I have a Perplexity account. Sir, I use Google Gemini. Completely fine. Any platform you use, it's okay. So I'll just enter a prompt. Okay. So I'm sure everyone are able to see my screen. If ChatGPT is visible, type it as yes in the chat box. Very good, Mr. Paul. Right? Very good. Very happy for you. So what I will do, first of all, I'll upload the document, right? I'll upload the document. So yeah, so LG Electronics, I've uploaded the entire DRHP document, and I'll just paste a prompt. So what is the prompt? You're a financial analyst with expertise in IPO and equity research. I'll provide you with a draft red herring prospectus of a company, right? I've provided LG Electronics. You can even be more specific. I've provided you a draft red herring prospectus of LG Electronics. Your task is to extract and summarize the most relevant and actionable insights. Please provide a detailed responses under the following sections. You want to know about the business overview. What does the company do? I want to understand the entire industry and market overview. What are the objects, right? So LG Electronics, is it a debt repayment? Which means, let's say, it any company which you are analyzing, it has loans with banks, like a short term or a long term loan, and these loans, they are paying like 10 percentage or 11 percentage interest to the banks. Instead of paying this 10 or 11 percentage to the banks, they can raise money from the public, and this money they can close all the loans, right? So many IPOs will be coming for debt repayment, expansion. They want to expand into new geographies, new industries they want it established, or even working capital. So your short term loans are for working capital, right? We call it as cash credit, CC, or we call it as overdraft. Any loan less than 1 year will be like a working capital short term loan, your cash credit, overdraft, and all that. And offer for sale, very, very interesting. Offer for sale means the company promoters, whoever are holding the shares of the company, wanted to reduce their stake. So they wanted to offload their shares, and that shareholding will go to the public. That's called as offer for sale. And in offer for sale, you have to be little bit careful, because it's not bad, but you have to analyze it more, because when the existing promoters are liquidating, when the existing promoters wanted to reduce their stake, is it just that they wanted to book the profits because of the listing gains or because of the IPO advantage they want to take? It is okay. Or even companies like NSDL, National Securities Depository Limited, one of the shareholder there is NSE. Based on regulators guidelines, there is a minimum cap for the shareholders. So that's why NSE have reduced their exposure. That's also fine. But any company, they drastically wanted to reduce their share, give it to the investors, because they don't see good foresight going forward on the coming years. That is a kind of a red flag. We should be little bit careful, right? Any complete OFS, we should analyze it more. It's not negative, but we need to do little bit more detailed analysis, right? So financial highlights, we need to extract. Cash flow, how is the cash flow? Risk factors, any imminent risk factors which are there, and promoter and management analysis, right? See here, we get to know the promoter holding pre and post IPO, and what is the holding of promoters before IPO and after IPO, and any legal issues, right? For example, your WeWork IPO, which closed yesterday, they have some regulatory challenges, some governance issues the company have. That is something we have to be very careful. So we need to check the track record of management also. Related party transactions, right? If there is an abnormal or conflict related transactions happening between the sister companies of the company, it's a problem. And peer companies and valuation, like for example, as we have loaded LG Electronics here, let me know in the chat box what are the peer companies you will be comparing with, right? The peer companies can be Blue Star, yes. Your Havells India, yes, you can consider Havells India. So your Voltas, exactly, right? Your Voltas, Blue Star, Havells India, Amber, Samsung, all of these comes as a peer company. So you can check. For example, LG Electronics, I think the price point with which it has quoted, it is coming at a PE of around 35, I think, right? 35, which is a decent PE compared to its peers. It's a decent PE. So you can check, is the pricing of the company or the PE is okay or not, and any red flags. Should I be careful about anything, right? Maybe negative cash flows, large OFS component. As I told you, any company which has complete OFS, we have to be a little bit more careful, right? Um, Sudden profit spike before IPO. For example, your um, urban company. If you go back and check urban, before IPO the previous year, they have had a sudden spike in the profit, right? So we need to see what is the reason of that, why it has spiked up, right? And any other auditor qualifications, legal proceedings, right? Any potential fraud risk or governance concerns clearly, right? So if you would have given the same prompt for WeWork India, which closed yesterday, you will get to know that there is a governance issue related, right? And yes, sir, is it required to give um, this much kind of a detailed prompt, or should I analyze all these things? It's optional. My responsibility is to give you all the things on a platter. It's up to you what you are looking at. Sir, I'm not concerned with the cash flow. Sir, I do not wanted to know more about the related party transactions, right? I know LG Electronics is a very good brand. I have a refrigerator of it. I have a TV of it. I use my a television, my refrigerator, whatnot, right? There are some electronic components which I use. So I don't want to uh, look at the peer comparison as well. Remove this peer comparison. Red flags. So it's up to you. What is that you wanted to study? You go ahead and analyze it, right? Analyze it. Okay. So let's see what is the output we will be getting from ChatGPT. Yes. So here is a comprehensive IPO analysis. Started its from 1997, and it's a, yes, wholly owned subsidiary of LG Electronics Korea. Even the advantage here is this is a company um, where it can also take the technology from the parent company, right? From the parent company. And core activities, obviously, yes, home appliances and consumer electronics. And here it has a major market share also. Even it's like it occupies the top market share in refrigerators, washing machine, television also. It occupies a very good market share. And revenue, they get 73 to 79 percentage of the revenue from the home appliances, and home entertainment around 21 to 27, like your televisions and all that. And yes, it has a pure market leadership, number one in India for consecutive 13 years in home appliances and electronics. And the market share is also very good. So a wonderful, decent growth. Yeah, see here, LG Electronics is number one player across multiple categories, be it refrigerators, washing machine, television, air conditioner, and microwaves. And one of the advantage for this company is um, this is a company where you observe on the market share also, be it on any product, right? It occupies number one market share. So as a long-term company also, it's a decent fit, right? And as you see here, yes, it's 100% OFS by the parent company LG Electronics, because obviously it's a cash-rich company, and the internal accruals and the internal profits itself is enough for the further growth in the business, right? Further growth in the business. And The financials, yes, the financials are decent, and the cash flow analysis, risk factors, yes. One of the risk factor is it's highly dependent on the consumer spending cycle and discretionary demand. Now, consumer spending, because of the GST rate cut, because of more flexibility in the taxation, right? The tax slab has been increased. This is positive for the company because consumer sector is good for the next 18 months, right? I consider this consumer spending cycle will pick up for the next 18 months. Not only on LG, any company, any stock which are tracking in the consumption sector should be in your radar for the next 18 months. How many of you agree with me? Next 12 months or next 18 months, consumption cycle itself will boost up with the kind of an initiatives government has done, right? Promoter management analysis, related party transactions, peer companies you can look at. Yeah, so Whirlpool, Voltas, Havels, um, we have like more than 40 price to earning like that. LG Electronics with the price band, I think with the price band with which it is coming, I think the market capitalization of the company will be somewhere around 77,000 crores. It will be listing post IPO, and the PE would be around 35 PE levels like that, 35 PE, which is decent when compared to the other uh, peers, right? Or even if we consider moderately less than 45 PE, also it is justified with the kind of a superior margins and leadership position. Red flag, yes. OFS, as we have discussed, the entire funds are not going to the company, but it's fine, right? It's fine. As I told you, it's not a negative, but you have to be a little bit cautious and know what exactly is the reason, right? And summary, yes, the strengths, the concerns, the final judgment, yes, it can be considered as a long-term investment, right? As a long-term investment. So you let me know in the chat box what is that you are going to do. Are you applying? Will you study more, or you are not applying, or you have already applied? Type below what is your judgment about this company.